and informing future recruitments. And lastly, to enable consideration of key diversity dimensions, including regional representation, gender balance, inclusion of persons with disabilities, and other diversity consideration. We hope when you go back to your constituencies, you'll be able to say the new commission is actually catering for every segment of our population. Note, this tool will not replace merit-based recruitment, but rather provides the Commission with better data to ensure that opportunities are accessible to all and that recruitment decisions are informed by considerations of fairness, inclusivity, and equitable representation. I'm about to finish. We have, at least I have elevated the research component of the Judicial Service Commission. I'm a researcher, and the Honorable Kicho knows that very well. Honorable members, you could have read my profile. So I love research. Now, the elevation of the research component of JSC from the basic descriptive studies into a more comprehensive research characterized by multi-year research design, multi-sector engagement, comparative benchmarking, and rigorous research methodologies, which combines desk research review, empirical inquiry, etc., will strengthen our work. What are the two areas of focus? Number one, I talked about the fact that the Commission now appoints judges and other judicial officers into office in acting capacity. We know there is a constitutional decision pending appeal in the Supreme Court. In the meantime, without talking about the merits of that decision, we thought it would be better so that we gather sufficient information in a timely manner and in time for the proposed constitutional amendments around 2030. We think our findings will inform the policies and legislative amendments should that chance happen. We are also conducting clerking and legal research systems in appellate courts. Honorable members and the chairperson through you, most of us know clerks as people who give files to judicial officers. In many jurisdictions, clerks are important people. They are lawyers of high repute with masters. You must have graduated on a vice chancellor's list or at least on the dean's list. That is what obtains in United States of America, in Germany, in Singapore, the Constitutional Court of South Africa. Now, what we have currently is that researchers who are entry-level magistrate grade 1s are the ones assigned to superior courts and indeed high court judges to support them in research. Imagine someone who has left LDC being assigned to a Supreme Court judge or Constitutional Court judge to handle a unique constitutional petition. You will end up overburdening this judge. Most of our judges in the Supreme Court, everyone knows, they are really old. So they need these vibrant, brainy people. In South Africa, every Constitutional Court judge, I use South Africa because I'm familiar with that jurisdiction. That's why I did my master's and my PhD, has 3 researchers. They are called clerks. 90% of the final work into that decision of the judge is handled by the 3 clerks. Unfortunately, what we have right now is that entry-level magistrates are the ones writing these memos for the judges, basic level research. So we think by collecting sufficient information around this area, we shall be able to boost the efficiency and the output of the judges for a start for appellate court levels. What will happen when we conduct this kind of research undertakings? We shall strengthen the public trust through accountability and engagement, enhance complaints handling, disciplinary process, expand public legal education, and strengthen strategic engagement. We also have challenges as I wind up. Institutional capacity of the judiciary, of the Judicial Service Commission vis-a-vis the expanded mandate. We are kind of constrained because in the past, all the staff into the judiciary were appointed by Public Service Commission. We now have to appoint those people into the judiciary. But also, when this commission was promulgated in 1995, there are about 13 judges and about 40 magistrates combined, with maybe around 60 support staff. We now have, the judiciary has about 800 members appointed by the same structure of the Judicial Service Commission with one permanent member, who is me. Is it humanly possible to do that? In addition to that, we appoint members of other MDAs, that is Leadership Court Tribunal, Electricity Tribunal, Insurance Registrar Tribunal, members of the court martial at all levels. That's a lot of work. May I also let you know that because of our efficiency we demonstrated in the last financial year, one MDA has written to the Chief Justice seeking that we appoint their staff. It's an extra burden, yes, but it is a compliment in my view. I don't want to mention that MDA, but without cameras, I can't disclose to the chairperson. We think if we are not doing the correct work, nobody would seek our services even when we are overwhelmed. Recruitment and planning and resource alignment. The emerging judicial vacancies require timely recruitment and intervention. While budget limitations may constrain our work, multiple recruitment exercises within the same period can be disruptive. Number 4, while I praised this Parliament for having given us sufficient money, we still experience some limited resource allocations given our expanded mandate, especially in the area of research. We hope that since our proposed research is going to take a period of 3 years, maybe in the next financial year, when we shall now have these benchmarking undertakings, you increase that budget a little bit. I'm winding up now by talking about the ongoing projects. We have enhanced our complaints handling system, and I've talked about it before. The improvement in complaints handling system came as a result of our strategic thinking. When I came in, there was a pyramid. You visualize this pyramid. Now, I inverted the pyramid and allocated the deputy chairperson to be in charge of these complaints. Before, complaints would be received at the lowest level without the knowledge of the deputy chairperson receiving complaints. But now she takes charge of these complaints. Why is it important to do it that way? It means nobody can manipulate this complaint at the base. It means in real time the deputy chairperson will know the volume of work before her. Digital transformation. When we came in, there was little use of IT. We now have e-docs, and we are mooting the idea to put our e-recruitment system under ECMIS. Lastly, we talked about e-restructuring. We have talked about diversity mapping. We have talked about restructuring and research and monitoring. Our commitment, honorable members and honorable chairperson, we want to strengthen the independence of the judiciary by recruiting people into the judicial service who merit, but from across the country, including every segment of our population. We want to promote integrity and accountability. I know it was off record, but when I came in, I loved the compliment that you think the chairperson, I don't want to use the words which were made, which were used, but you have trust in the commission as it is now. And we don't intend to disappoint or betray that trust. We want to improve efficiency in the way we do things. We have demonstrated that almost at the same budget, we are able to execute our mandate by increasing even the volume of work. And we do that by using the resources you give us responsibly. Lastly, like I have emphasized, the use of these resources responsibly has come not by accident, but by a deliberate policy which focuses on partnership and cooperation with other MDAs. Conclusion. With your continued support, therefore, and collaboration as our key stakeholder, the 7th Commission remained dedicated to pursue the promotion of excellence into the judicial service by providing an effective bridge to justice for the people of Uganda. Thank you very much.
I think the chairman deserves a more round of applause than that. Thank you, Your Lordship, for that insight to the members. Members, I want to put two facts before you chip in. One is that in the last financial year, there was a call to this committee to realign some financing to enable the Judicial Service Commission execute its mandate effectively in what, in the eyes of the chairperson, so was a more effective approach. And he hit on one of the areas, which is duplication. It's a very general problem that we are experiencing in government. Each government is running a program, each MDA is running a program that is duplicated in another and another and another. It's like a copy and paste during budgeting process. We grappled with that in one of the budget scrutinies we did last financial year, when we proposed that certain activities should not be done by certain institutions, but be centralized in one unit. And it became a very serious concern. We almost flexed with the powers that be. But if you looked at the entire budget under our scrutiny for about 10 MDAs, training alone was taking over 100 billion. Training alone. This institution is training, this one is training, the other is training, the other. I said, why don't we get this man and take it to the Civil Service College to equip it, and then it trains all civil servants annually as its core mandate. And that was a very, very big problem with so many powers. And we lost the battle. We have not lost the war, but we lost the battle. Each institution in Uganda, can you imagine an institution which has a budget of 30 billion wants to construct its office at 100 billion. In the process, they are recruiting engineers, they are recruiting architects as permanent staff. And I said, should it be the core of an institution like the Judicial Service Commission to supervise construction of its offices when we have a Ministry of Works, National Housing? Why can't some of these responsibilities go to the specialized institutions that have that mandate? So that's what the chairman is mainly referring to here. And I want you to chip in with all honesty and support to this core good cause. When you mentioned about having a national face in recruitment, I saw Honorable Chitio very concerned. I think he was concerned that not many Sabinis would get into the judiciary during the current process. I don't know whether that was your worry or that was your appreciation. But, you know, justice should not only be done, but must be seen to be done. If you present a list of 10 appointed personnel in an office, and all of them are speaking the same native language, even when you have followed merit, there is a perception that maybe justice has not been done. And I welcome that approach. Thank you so much. Before you came in here, we said, someone whispered to us, oyo musajja mufu, nebo muwa sente taziria. And we said that was a vote of confidence. If you are mufu, continue being a mufu, so that people know that there is hope in a government institution where you can get a job on merit. So without that, I want to welcome my honorable members to chip in, and we have about 10 minutes. Let me start here. This man arrived here first in this meeting.
Thank you, Chairman, for the compliment. I shall continue arriving first. Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman of the JSC. Once again, I am Sir Longo Richard Senteza.
I am Mr. His Lordship.
Honorable Justice, Doctor, Chairman of the JSC. Once again, I am Sir Longo Richard Senteza from Lugazi. I have two quick concerns. One of them is appointment of judges or judicial officers in acting capacity. I have been perusing the Constitution, especially Article 142 and the entire chapter, appointment of judicial officers. I have not come across that aspect of appointing judicial officers in acting capacity. And my question, if you have decided to traverse that road of appointing judicial officers in acting capacity, what is the fate of the decisions that are passed by those officers in their acting capacities? Two, if that officer is not confirmed, what is the fate of that that decision? Secondly, I have been looking at the records, which are very good. You've improved tremendously as far as disciplinary matters are concerned. But isn't it also a matter of concern that you are holding or you are receiving 576 complaints about judicial officers? Because when we were at the law school, we were told that judicial officers should behave in a certain, either live or behave in a certain way beyond reproach. But if you are getting 576 complaints about judicial officers, do you think they are still holding that living beyond reproach?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Now, on that one too, what about those who have not had the courage to come and complain? Are we taking care of them? Two, is it a centralized or decentralized complaint point? Can someone from Kapchorwa or Nakapiripiriti easily file a complaint about a judicial officer if he picks the courage anyway?
Actually,
thank you.
Chair, mine is also related.
Please, carry on.
Yeah, actually it is related to the complaints. I want to thank you. My name is Fred Baseke from Ntenjeru County, South Kayunga. Baseke, Fred. Chairperson, I want to thank you so much for this presentation. When I look at the achievements from your presentation, I'm impressed. But then, in 2020, when I was a member of Parliament in the 10th Parliament, we had an issue with one of the judicial officials, and we made a complaint. And I want to inform you, we never got feedback from the Judicial Service Commission. So my question is, what mechanism do you have to give feedback to people who complain? At that level, because I was imagining as a member of Parliament, I could not get feedback. What happens to the person in a rural area in my constituency?
In Balaoli. Thank you so much. Chitio said is conflicted. Yeah, the gentleman from Russia, also known as Russia.
Russia. My name is Joseph Mugenyi, once again from Russia. I just have two concerns. One is Commission Jim Okello and Commission Badru. In your opinion, sincerely as the representative of the public, do you think the judges or the public is happy with the institution of the judiciary? Because we hear a lot of outcries here and there. Then two, probably to the chair, there was this issue of key achievement. Number one, upper bench, Chief Justice, Deputy MP, what? Then he gave a figure of 47. What does this 47 come about? Because I see there are very few, but they are giving a figure of 47. Where are this coming from? I don't know. There's a very big figure of 47 here. And is from his explanation is upper bench, Chief Justice, Deputy Chief Justice, Principal Judge, and 2 judges. Then the total here 47. What is that? Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Mugenyi. Ms. Honorable Campagna.
Thank you, Chairperson. For purposes of record, Campagna Abdul Swaibu, representing the people of Wikiki. I was looking at these complaints, the number, and anyone can complain, but it's now about investigating and finding out the truthfulness of these allegations. I'm imagining, ordinarily, from those areas where these judicial officers serve, it is known that a judicial officer cannot receive money directly, even if he was or she was to ask for a bribe. And these complaints come, but the person who received is a distant person whom they use to receive the money. What mechanism do you have for such people who come with such complaints that they have no evidence that directly implicates this judicial officer? Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Campagna. Honorable Chair, there is also this common slogan, none cash bail of 500,000 and cash bail of 2 million. Which one do you choose? Honorable Cohen.
Thank you, Chair. Chair, I don't know why. I think we reason together. I want to first ask the Chair. We have a problem. The prisons are complaining. Because when you go here in Kampala, even when there is a traffic offense, a petty offender, my name is Amanya Cohen, from Igara West constituency. When there is a petty offender, the judicial officers have made it a point to first send them to the prisons as they await for their bail. And then, as the chair has said, then when they come back, there is this cash bail, non-cash bail stories. Don't you think that that is one of the areas about the issues of bail that we really need to look at as between you and ourselves? Secondly, Honorable Chair, these election petition disputes, our colleagues and everyone is complaining. They are not being handled. What's the problem? The third one, and as you have clearly stated, that the Uganda Law Society, the representative to the Judicial Service Commission, the 2 members are not part of the team. But the members, I myself, I'm a lawyer by profession, we are concerned that all the statement was done by judiciary.
Thank you, Honorable Cohen.
Let me finish that one. Okay. Because the judiciary issued orders, and we are in the statement as the Uganda Law Society, the representative. So do you think the quorum is okay without hearing views of the lawyers? And again, when you're doing recruitment, don't you think that that's why the lawyers are having a problem? Kenya has adopted a system on what we call the digital. Right now, you can be in Uganda here and you do a case in Kenya. Why has judiciary not done the same for purposes of clearing the case backlog? Thank you very much.
Thank you, Honorable Cohen. Congresswoman.
Thank you very much, Chair. And I would like to commend the Chair as well of the GSC for your... Yes, I'll introduce myself. Yeah, thank you very much. My name is Eunice Otoko Apio, the Member of Parliament for Yam County North, and I sit on this committee. I'm the only Congresswoman on the committee, the UPC. Thank you. I appreciate your submission, and I'm really learning a lot about the GSC and then in the broader scheme of things. You know, you mentioned that there are 5 judges currently under investigation. I'm just wondering, Mr. Chair, what the Commission's policy or practice regarding judicial officers who are under investigation may be. What could be the policy? Under what circumstances do you recommend, or might you recommend, that they be suspended from active duty, for example? And then, of course, I was also worried about what Honorable Cohen already put across. Do you consider the GSC fully constituted without the 2 representatives from the bar? Thank you.
Thank you. Honorable Abdallah.
Thank you, Chair. Chuanka Abdallah. I represent the people of Mukono County North and member of this committee. Honorable Chair, I want the chairperson to explain to us, when you read Article 126 of the Constitution, it clearly stipulates that judicial power is derived from the people. Where, in your selection and when you are recommending judicial officers, I want to know where exactly do the people get involved in the selection, commenting, approvals, while you are appointing these judicial officers. In other jurisdictions, as you have been telling us, Honorable Chair, Dr. Singh is in other jurisdictions, like here in Kenya, you are aware that what they are doing is exactly they bring people on board, they give their views on judicial officers, even before they are promoted. Here we find judicial who are corrupt and well known to be corrupt, and they pass through the sieve of the judicial and get worried. Judicial officers who don't even write judgments, as they are getting promoted from the magistrate, and they get to the High Court. How is that one done? Okay, I would be consulted as an advocate because I'm always there. But even then, for example, right now, when our representatives are not there, when we always interact with the judicial office, and we are aware some of the judicial officers you are promoting and recommending to higher offices, they live even without writing any judgment. How is this done, and how do the people get involved to qualify this article that judicial power is derived from the people? That is issue number 1. Chair.
Oh, you have
Chair.
Another issue. Okay.
Yes, Chair.
Let's try to.
Thank you, Chair. We have talked about fighting corruption within this institution, and we are totally in support. As part of, most of us as being part of that institution, by virtue of the fact that we do practice in the institution, we also feel a lot of pain. What initiative have you done? Because a lot of corruption, these adjournments which you have forced these magistrates to do, they push you onto, they don't allow any bail application instantly. By doing that, they are soliciting. Yes, they are soliciting. By the time you come back, they have already negotiated. Of course, they may not be negotiating directly, but they have their people who are always interacting. Can you please try as much as possible to put agents or spies at courts so that we can permanently wipe out this disease called corruption in judiciary.
Thank you so much, Honorable Abdu. Honorable members, forgive me.
Chair, the last one.
First
The
hold
last
on a
one,
second.
only, the last one.
First hold on a second. First hold on.
This was the very...
First hold on. Honorable members, forgive me. We have the Directorate of Public Prosecutions coming in ordinarily at 11. So let's try to be as brief as we can. Please finish your point.
Thank you, Chair. I appreciate Mr. Singiza. You talked about how you have tried to fight this thing where people could see that only some regions have dominated the judiciary, and you have given us the highlight without any shy, and you have opened up that you can see as far as this region is concerned. My worry, when you look in that hierarchy, and when we are talking about this for these positions to be distributed equally, it also was cutting across a certain element to do with religion, not only region where you come from. From the top up downwards, we are missing somewhere in the hierarchy. By missing, Honorable Chair, I mean the Muslims are nowhere in the hierarchy of the judiciary. How do you think about that?
Thank you so much, Honorable. Let me go in order of early coming. Honorable Eliab.
Thank you, Chair. For the record, I was here at 15 minutes past 8. My name is Eliab Natulinda Mpolera, Member of Parliament for Ndogwa County West. I want to thank the leadership of the Judicial Service Commission. You elaborated here some good insights. I thank you. But furthermore, I want to bring you to the attention of some other critical departments. You created specialized courts to handle issues of tourism, umeme, but there is another element of a specialty that was left out, especially regarding foreigners, and that is the immigration. Quite often, foreigners or aliens are arrested by the Directorate of Citizenship and Immigration Control. They are taken to, in most cases, Nakawa, but even you find that the judicial officers at Nakawa are not well equipped with different immigration issues. My view and advice, Mr. Chair, would be that the Judicial Service Commission should also look into this sector so that they can categorize it and equip the judicial officers to always manage these cases in a timely manner. I thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Eliab. Finally, we'll have Honorable the Shadow Attorney General, the Honorable Nalukola Luyimbazi.
I thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, allow me in the first place to apologize for late coming. Indeed, I've been delayed by commitments, but I've never intended it. I welcome Dr. Singiza and the Judicial Service Commission. Allow me, Mr. Chairman, to pose just a few questions. Dr. Singiza, during the recent State of Nation address, the executive publicly demanded the denial of bail to certain suspects as a body mandated to protect judicial independence. What concrete steps have you taken as Judicial Service Commission to shield the judicial officers? Secondly, have you succumbed to those demands by executive? We are seeing a kind of a trend as if the judiciary is doing away with mandatory bail. It has happened in the case of Dr. Chiza Besije. It has happened in the case before Chief Magistrate's Court at Kanyanya Kawempe, Mufumbiro and others. Why is it that we no longer have mandatory bail as provided for under the Constitution of the Republic of Uganda? Secondly, what safety protocols or operational safeguards has the Judicial Service Commission put in place to protect judges and magistrates who handle sensitive political and human rights cases, especially those where those who occupy high-profile offices are involved? Yes, like members of parliament, among others. Dr. Singiza, I have a humble view that a judicial officer who is not protected, whose independence is not protected, may not be in a position to handle certain cases where big people are involved. I thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Honorable Nalukola. Now, in the interest of time, Honorable Members, we have the DPP in our doorstep. Let me give chance to the Deputy Chairperson to raise a few questions, and then we close that. I know the Honorable Kataik had some questions. The Honorable Chitiyo had waived his right to ask, so we will keep it at that. So, okay.
Yes, Chair. One, with respect to access, first of all, let me thank them for some of the reforms that they have made. And I practice in Ontario, and I'm very much aware of the clerks. I actually try to be one. I've seen their qualifications, the Supreme Court clerks, and I think that's a move in the right direction. But and I was appreciating, there are many things to appreciate, but I was appreciating their proposal for clerks of very high, very resourceful person to replace the current trend where they put magistrate that may not be very supportive to a judge. So that's one of the proposals they are given. But there are many reforms that I appreciate. But anyways, my question is with respect to access to justice. I know that they have extended very many statutes across the country, but in many of our jurisdictions, and the majority of our people, they are still being served by the lower cadres. And when we talk about salary enhancement, when in the 10th Parliament we passed the Judicial Administration Act, and I know most of the upper cadres were catered for. What I think when you talk about financial constraint, what is your plan for these guys? Because they serve the majority of the people that we serve. And with respect to access to justice too, I appreciate that actually in your tenure, 5 other, I think maybe even in the military judges were appointed. But I have seen in most jurisdictions, Canada, Australia, they use a lot of tribunals because these upper statutes are very expensive to many times to run. And then a question came here when we were dealing with one of our sectors about human rights, how they are appointed. Actually, I asked the minister yesterday whether it is time for Judicial Service Commission to a similar process where they are vetted, then the president is left with a little task of a limited number that has been given. Because do you think it is time, for, especially like Human Rights Commission, and even extend your work to other tribunals? Because in other jurisdictions I've seen traffic issues, you go to, and these are ordinary members, rental tribunals, could be immigration. We need to bring in more tribunals, but what is your plan for that? Because I think that's how we can serve the majority of people. Let me leave it here. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Deputy Chair. Lastly, Honorable Kataik.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Your Lordship, Babula Noel Kataike, representing the people of Budaka District. My concern is about absenteeism. Does the Commission maintain records and performance data for magistrates? And what disciplinary action is taken against officers who are repeatedly absent without justifiable cause? Thank you very much.
Now, thank you so much. Honorable members, we are still with the Judicial Service Commission, and I know there are so many issues that we may not have raised. Some we shall raise, but very soon they will be coming back here for MPS. But their offices are open to all of us to have interactions and discussions on so many issues that we may not be able to raise now. Your Lordship, I want to invite you. We have only 3 minutes. I don't know how we should handle this. Should we ask him to write in response? But you can make a few responses, then your closing remarks, then we'll expect...
Chair.
No, let him respond in the interest of time. We have another institution.
Just on that one,
no,
a written response.
No, Honorable Campagna, let him respond.
A while ago, my commissioners whispered to me that indeed it is preferred that we respond to all these concerns in a written form. I request that we do that. Maybe I should do one thing, then allow members of the public in 1 minute to tell you how the voice of the public is consumed by the Judicial Service Commission to appoint good people. I just want to end by repeating what I started with, to thank you that you have actually given us a good budget and we are not about to betray that support. Thank you very much. May I ask Commissioner...
Now, since we are going to have written responses, let me give Honorable Adeke a chance to raise her question so that it forms part of the answers we are receiving, and then Honorable Chitio. But
thank you for
just
your
write them
indulgence.
down, we'll have written response.
Thank you for your indulgence, Honorable Chair. My Lord, ECMIS, in my opinion, is being weaponized so much that there are accused persons.
Honorable, from which...
My name is Adeke Anebaju, Soroti District. So much that we've seen situations where accused persons who are not in good health conditions are brought to court only to hear from the judicial officers that the rulings will be delivered online. Why is ECMIS being weaponized? Why don't our very able judicial officers send notices to the prison authorities so that they don't have to bring accused persons through a very tedious process to come only to hear that we shall give you the ruling online, we shall deliver it online? Secondly, the Uganda Law Society is not represented on the Judicial Service Commission. How are you conducting business without the voice of the Uganda Law Society, our representatives? I thank you very much, Honorable
Thank you so
Chair.
much. Finally, Honorable Chitio.
Thank you so much, Chair, and honorable members, plus members of the Commission. Chair, the Chairperson, Judicial Service Commission, His Lordship Justice Douglas, has not disappointed me in his submission. That's why I was quiet, listening. Whereas I was once a judicial officer, but of course the occupation has shifted. Now I'm a member of Parliament. And by that, thank you, by that I have a right to at least speak on behalf of my people. Thank you. Chair, the current team at Judicial Service Commission, led by His Lordship, Dr. Douglas, whom I worked with as a magistrate, and I can attest that through his elevation to the chairperson of Judicial Service Commission, is a blessing to this country. And you can see and feel the tangible transformation currently now at Judicial Service Commission. A quick one. Advertisement or adverts for positions at Judicial Service Commission is always made public. It always comes through newspapers. I want to encourage members of the Judicial Service Commission that whereas the adverts come on public newspapers, the shortlist of candidates for these positions should also be made public. Number two, successful candidates, after going through the rigorous interviews, should also be made public in the same format, so that this is one of the ways that the public gains trust that Judicial Service Commission is doing work of the public. I worked in Butambala as a magistrate grade 1, where Haji comes from, and I can tell you that I did great work in Butambala. Before I left for Parliament, I left good record at Judiciary, and I'm proud to be. Yesterday, I introduced myself as a proud retired judicial officer, and I will repeat the same because of them. Thank you so much.
This one has come. This one has come to praise himself. So thank you so much. Thank you so much, honourable members. You said you wanted 2 minutes for the representatives of the public. 1 minute each.
Thank you, my Lord. Chair. Thank you, Chairperson and members, honourable members. The question is long and needs some bit of time to explain. The question is the public happy?
No, Honourable Commissioner. We are not responding to the questions now. We are going to receive written responses. Yes. We just want you to make general remarks to this.
General remarks. Of Parliament. No, generally, we are very appreciative of the support we get from this Parliament, especially this Commission, as our Chair has put it. And we promise that we are doing all what it takes to make sure that we don't disappoint you. In fact, we have kept our ears to the ground, listening very, very attentively, not to what you are telling us here, but what we hear from outside, when we get to the barazas and public fora. These radio talk shows and TV shows you see us, where we spend a lot of time explaining and answering questions, is meant to hear from the public and to our level base to make sure that we move the public to answer the question from that extreme corner that power is derived from the public, useful from the public. That is exactly what we are trying to do, but we are very grateful. And as you put it, Honourable Chair, we are ready to receive any of you if you came in to meet us as a commission to explain or to interact or to share a few remarks with you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. You've even actually received an invitation to a radio station in Agago by my deputy chair in Patong. Oh. Thank you. Thank you very much. Let's hear from your colleague.
We have taken note of it. We are going to get in touch with you.
Okay. Let's hear from your colleague, and you'll forgive me. You'll be the last.
Okay. Thank you, Honourable Chair and Honourable members. As a member of the public, we have engaged in our strategy, working down to the grassroots, and commissioners over this 7th commission have actually taken time to go and meet with LC1, LC2, LC3s. We've interacted with RDCs and the security places where they've come out openly to voice their concerns. And with the responses we've been giving to them, their complaints, their concerns have been addressed.
Have you done that Soroti too?
Yes, we did that in Katakwi.
Okay.
And we have the former chief magistrate. He did good work there with us. They transferred him, I think, to Masindi. But because of our involvement with the grassroots community there, and people are responding. Actually, when you see numbers of complaints and responses skyrocketing and going up, that is indeed the confidence people now have in our vision of being a bridge to justice in Uganda.
Thank you very much. Thank you so much. I look forward to hosting you in Kamuli one of these days. And thank you for the job well done. Honourable Chairperson, you have our highest regards and appreciation, as you have heard from the members, for the tremendous work you're doing. Honourable Deke Ann, you had one last question, but I want you to escort our Judicial Service Commission out and whisper that last question to them in private.
UBC, inspiring Uganda.
Teens Crown, an amazing off-the-hook youth program, brings you an array of fun, exciting, and educative segments you do not want to miss. From red carpet moments to proms, youth empowerment programs to youth gig vibes, and so much more, Teens Crown will get you hooked. Only on UBC TV, every Saturday at 1:30 p.m. Don't miss.
I'd like to thank all our clients, our valued taxpayers, the people that we serve as we collect revenue for building our nation. I thank you very much for the questions you have sent through this program of Buza Commissioner. On behalf of URA, I would like to pledge that we are committed